This video is to help users with APA style. First off, you're probably wondering, why in the world do I even need a citation style? Why do I have to create a bibliography for my paper? Why do I have to cite things? First and foremost, it's fair. By citing others' ideas, words, you're giving them credit for it. You're not saying it is my own. And to be ethical in research, you must do that. You've probably heard of people who have gotten fired, disgraced by discovering that, one, they did not properly format a document to give credit to information. There's been journalists who've been fired for making up stories. So you do it to give credit. Now, typically, if you're doing research, this is what I suggest. You see them at the library's homepage, and I haven't started my research yet. Go to your computer, and I'm going to go up and open up a Word document and type in just the words bibliography for whatever project you're getting ready to work on. This way, when you find information, you can put it in. Because, as I assume you know, any items from Primo to a database now will give you a citation. It may be incorrect, and usually it is, but it will give you the building blocks for your item. Now, I'm going to go into Primo here quickly. And I had a search I was doing a minute ago for a person on imaginary numbers. I'm going to do the search. And if I was doing this for a paper and this person was looking at the history of them, I'm doing my search. I'm going to sign in. See it? I am now signed in, and nice to get the same number of results. Now, suppose I want to cite this book. Here's the book. Click on it. It's an ebook. And notice this will give me I will go down and do a APA citation. Notice it gives me other citations. Be sure you select the right one. Probably what I would do, I would copy this. I could copy it to my citation, go to my Word document, paste that sucker in. Go down, I'm ready to add in my other ones. Now, I am not going to say this is correct. I am going to get the information now, and I will come back and correct it later. I'm going to go back and pull up an article. Here is another one. It is a database. It should be in here, so I'm just going to go to the citation. Now, okay, copy it. This one actually looks pretty good too. So far, I am doing pretty good with these. And I'm going to paste it in. Now, typically, I will tell students when they get these items, I would go to the database to get it. Let me get it from this one. Why would I get it from the original source? Well, just because it would be easier, and if I'm going there to get my full text, which hopefully I am, even though it seems like it is taking it a while, I would do that. But while I was waiting for that article to open, I would go back here. You may have noticed I've got extra spaces here. Get rid of them. That way everything lines up. Now, first thing you'll need to know about citations, that you'll notice that notice the author's names. Always last name, comma, first initial for APA, then the date. You'll need to verify that. I happen to know that Springer Plus, that is probably the title of the database or title of the journal, put it in italics. Now let's go back here and see if here's my article itself. And notice I can even get a citation from here. Typically, this is where I would get the citation. And notice it looks a little different. Notice also it has my citation or my journal that I'm getting it from, my container, if you will, italicized so I could copy it. Highlight over that, paste it. Now notice when I pasted it in, it did indent it. It also changed my formatting a little bit. So if I'm doing this for a paper, for a book, always go back in and highlight it. Be sure you do all the same font. So it looks the same. Now, also, sometimes you'll see various spaces. To tell you the truth, I'm not so sure about this one. So look it up. One of the methods we sometimes teach with citations deals with CPR, cut, paste, repair, or cut, paste, review, and repair. If you do not know or do not trust it, you can simply Google APA Style Guide. I've done that here. You see, here's the online writing lab at Purdue where you can check it, or you can go to the APA Style Guide itself. And one of the things it has is it will tell you information about paper format. This is one of the things that style guides do. It tells you how to set those up. It also tells you about the in-text citations, basic principles, parenthetical versus narrative in-text citations, and also all this other information that you can discover. Usually your English 1050 or 1060 instructors will cover this. If they do not, you can use this as a refresher course. I don't remember what the difference is between parenthetical or in-text. So it will give you an example. You will see that APA, if you're using parenthetical, which is just a summary of an item, typically, it gives the author's name and the publication and the date. Because this is why you do citations, because the person, once you do this and it appears in a paper, you're expected to be able to flip back to the bibliography, look for the name Kohler in 2016, and you can see the full citation. And if you use the name in text, you just need to add the date. If you use a direct quotation, you will need a page number. And let me go back. And you can see working with quotations. This tells you what's available on the page, how to lay them out. And again, most of your publication manuals will have some kind of information like this dealing with the same things. Different styles do different things. And if I want to, I can go up here to go back here and go to references. Here are examples. The basic list, basic principles of a reference list, author, date, title, source. And this lays that information out for you. Author's names, date. This is the title of the article, title of the journal, volume number, issue number, page numbers, and DOI. All this is the source information, but there's various levels within this source. Also, it talks about punctuation of this. So please do that. One of the major differences between APA and MLA is how you handle names. APA, as you can see, last name, comma, first name. our first initial, excuse me. MLA is last name, comma, first name. And the date where the date is located also varies between the two. But look at these. And again, citations have gotten easier because if I have a book, if I go back here, reference examples, textual works, which is what books are, books, ebooks, whole book, author's name, date, the title of the book. Now notice the capitalization of this. This is different between MLA and APA as well. This capitalization is what is known as sentence case. Sentence case is where you capitalize it like you would in a sentence. With the first letter after a colon, and any what I used to call proper nouns capitalized. And you can see how that is done here. So that's the way it's set up. And you'll see my one citation back here. Now notice it says first edition here, and in my APA it does second. Usually if it's first edition, what I would do is just take this out. If you do not say what edition it is, typically it is referred to as first edition. Also notice I will need to italicize this. So now I have my author's name, my publication date, my title, and who published it. For books, this is typically all you need. For an article such as this, notice I have author's name, a date, title of the article. Notice it is also in sentence case. And my title, my source, my journal, Springer Plus, it is italicized plus the number 3 for my volume number. My issue number is in the parentheses. It is not italicized. My page numbers and my DOI. Now, one of the things typically I forget about is whether I need the abbreviation for page. I can go back here, go back to my APA or wherever I'm looking and take a look. It says journal article references. Notice it does not give I do not need the P or PP or PG, any kind of information like that. Now also notice this gives a lot of information besides just the journal information. A lot of articles now are published online first without a page number, and sometimes they'll have some kind of identification number like this. This gives the article number. If it has a DOI, you'll need to provide it as well. And sometimes it'll have missing information. So and it gives you that kind of information. So I could go back here. It looks good. I think, let me see if it has a period at the end. Most of them do not. Some professors will take points off for that. So now I have a working bibliography. If I go back to Primo, find another article, or find another book, let me load more results. Sometimes access. Okay, here's my article. I can cite it. Now notice this one. I'm going to copy it, or you can hit copy. I can bring it here and put it in where it needs to be. Notice it's a different font, and again, I would have to take a look at that. I'm never sure what to do with after a question mark. I'm probably going to capitalize it but it gives me this big long URL. So probably what I'm going to do is go back here, close that, and probably I am going to take that big long URL out because, well, actually I will check. If I am smart, I will check. And as you see, journal title gives information about retracted. I would probably, because it does not have a DOI, I would probably cut all that linking information out. But this is one, but mainly because it's so long, I do not think I need the retrieve from information, so I would cut it out. And then I would go through, and again, the final thing you should do is, notice how it's got an extra space in here, is if I was turning this in, go through and be sure your spacing is correct. Go through and be sure it is all in the same formatted correctly. Again, you see that's indented. If it's not indented, you can highlight and indent. So I would check that before you turn it in. Do not just go in and willy-nilly, go back. And think, because, well, this is the last source I found that goes here. No, be sure and alphabetize by your author's last name. You do not need to alphabetize if you have more than one author. You do not need to alphabetize that, but you will need to check it. Now, I know this one will go up here. I can paste it in. Now, I would also have to remove my spaces. I would have to do my italics. And there I have my citation. This one actually looks like I messed up when I cut and pasted it. Be sure that is correct. And there you have it. That's how simple bibliographies can be. Don't make it harder than it has to be. If you have any questions, contact your instructor about this. Also, this is a warning. Sometimes professors want specific things in a citation that may not be in the APA style guide, or there may be older items they want in that are now removed. No matter what style, if your professors give you an instruction about what they want in it, follow it. They are the graders. They are the people who put the grade on it, who tell you whether it is right or wrong. And some people take this very seriously. So if you have any questions, contact us, contact your professor. And again, you have the APA style guide. And if I go back, you also have another good source is the online writing lab at Purdue. Yeah, no, I'm doing it the hard way. And you see they have an APA guide. They also have other styles there as well. So I hope this will make citations easier for you. Trust me, it's easier than when I came through as an undergraduate many years ago when we were doing these by hand. So there is that. So if you have any questions, contact us. Thank you.